Okay, hello everybody and welcome back. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do the other night, which is open up this roll of 52S cents that I have here. Just in case you hear some giggling in the background, that would be my wife sitting to my left. Her name is Peggy, and she's sitting here just kind of listening. So she's the one that puts up with all of my coin collecting and all of that. So my hat's off to her for being able to put up with it. So anyway, if anybody wants to say hello, you can say hello to my wife. Anyway, all right. So I have this white sheet of paper down here on my blotter, and the reason why is I want to kind of give you guys an idea. There's white seems to be one of the better things to show off your copper coins from that standpoint. I use black quite frequently, and you can tell that when I move the white away from the screen, how it kind of over intensifies the image and the exposure on all of this. So I'm going to probably see if I can leave this white right here so that it's not quite so bright and glaring. I can reduce the light that I have above here a little bit, and that will help too. At the same point in time, it still was a little bit intense. So let's see what we can come up with here. I'm going to open this, and this everybody's aware, this is a roll that I believe to be a pretty authentic, original wrapped roll. If you have not had an opportunity to look at the other videos that I've done about rewrapping rolls and things like that, you might want to. This is the rewrapping tool that I was showing you in one of the videos the other day. This is a phenomenal thing to look for. The little plastic tabs that you see inside here on the top and on the bottom, those are the ones that I was talking about the other day in the video that make a mark in the end of a wrapped roll, where you should be able to actually tell whether it was machine wrapped or wrapped with one of these. Neither one of the ends on this roll have that little mark that would be basically found on a roll like this. The other thing too is this roll doesn't really fit in here all too well, so that leads me to believe that this is thicker paper than average, which means it was also probably wrapped by a regular bank wrapping machine. So both of these are tightly crimped. Both of them are extremely tight on the ends. I don't have any rattling of the coins. I cannot pinch this roll and actually see the edge of a coin. That's another dead giveaway that a roll is not an authentic roll, is if you can pinch the end of a roll and actually see the rim of the coin for whatever the reason. I see a lot of things on eBay where some of the sellers will pinch a roll so that you can see what the grade or the coin looks like, or even the date. And if you can pinch that roll and see the rim of that coin, that is definitely a sign of a fake or rewrapped roll. So let's go ahead and get this roll open. The original date on it is 52S, which is written here. And what's interesting is this is actually written with a very old-time colored pen. It says $2. So whoever would have purchased this probably paid $2 for it, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1953 or 54. Would be my guess. So this is another sign that this could be an authentic wrapped roll as well. I'm going to go ahead and open this roll. It says California Bank Head Office, Los Angeles, California on it. If you can get a chance to read that right side up, upside down, whichever way we can do it here. Let's see what we find in here. It'd be kind of nice. This is a relatively expensive roll of coins. So if it's got some nice coins in it, we might get lucky. 52S is also known for not being a very nice roll of coins. Part of the reason for that is there were some lubricants that were used in the mid-40s all the way up until the early 50s that caused some gray spots on coins, also what we call half moons on the coins. Those lubricants were used to keep the die and the planchets from sticking to one another. The Mint obviously didn't care whether some of that lubricant got on the coins, and over the course of time it creates a gray spot. All right, so here's what we've got. I'm going to move my light a little bit so I can see a little better. These actually have turned out to be a really nice looking roll of coins so far. This is definitely an original roll, there's no doubt about that. And what I find the most interesting, here's these gray spots that I was trying to tell you about. I'm going to see if I can underexpose this so you guys can get a chance to see this. Let me bring this white piece of paper back in here. Maybe that will help a little bit. So these coins have a little gray spot on them. You can see it down by the date. See if I can get that to focus a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to focus all too well. But you can get a chance to, if I can get it to focus a little bit, you can see those gray spots. Those are what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the gray spots on these coins. But in looking through the rest, there's a half moon on the coin. You can see it that runs from the top of his head kind of down and around. I know it's not the world's easiest thing. I'll try and post some pictures on some of the websites too at some particular point in time so you guys can see what I'm talking about with that. But the roll actually looks to be pretty darn authentic, pretty original, and extremely nice in terms of its quality. So it was probably an earlier strike to the year. There's a few things wrong with it here and there. Again, some more gray spots, some contact marks and things like that. But overall, this definitely turned out to be a really nice roll of coins and should produce some higher end coins. I'm always interested to see whether I find any varieties or errors in here as well. I've had an occasion where I've opened up an original roll of coins to find off-center cents. I've found cents that have been struck on thin planchets and stuff like that as well. So by all means, if you do happen to get an original roll of coins, it's fun to look for stuff like that. Decent strikes, nicely done, not an extremely over the top roll, but you never know when you're going to run into one coin. I did find here's a one with a fingerprint on it, so that's, or at least some form of carbon on it, whether or not it's a fingerprint or not. I'm not finding too much in the way of fingerprints, which also leads you to believe that it's an original roll and not a rewrap as well, because usually if it's a rewrap, someone has handled or touched the coins to try and get them into the rewrapped roll at some point in time. So I'll continue to go through this. Looks like some really nice strong strikes to a 52S, which is a very difficult coin and a difficult year to get a hold of in really nice shape. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'll come back and do a couple more videos at some point in the future here and show off some other things that we've got. I've got another batch of coins coming in tomorrow, so we'll see what we can wind up getting out of that batch of coins. Have a good night. I appreciate it, everybody.